Hello, welcome to another program by Friends of Terry Virgil. Yes, we sponsor this all the time, and it's really kind of like our radio blog, but we're going to put it podcast. And I am Terry Virgil, and I could speak about anything here in this podcast booth and while we're broadcasting. And I'd like to point out one thing that is appalling. And everybody knows that liberals, Democrats, we're going to include communists and socialists. We'll put the head kingpin on this, Obama, with his cohorts and with the other violators of U.S.Const.amend.II as murderers. I am going to make one statement very clear. If anybody out in that Oregon ranch got killed by a federal agent, the man that's totally responsible for this heinous crime by the federal government, especially the FBI, is no more than Mr. Obama, who hates guns, who hates life, who hates liberty, and who hates freedom. With that spoken, it's very plain the way that moron speaks. And I'm not afraid to call him a moron because I'm not going to be politically correct. I would say those ranchers had every unalienable right to the pursuit of happiness, which is, by the way, a law here in the United States of America. Once you violate that law by violating a person's constitutional amendments, no matter which way you look at it, you are violating the rights to pursue happiness. You're violating the right to freedom and to liberty because people need to eat. All those ranchers wanted to do was use the unused federal land to support their livelihood so that they can eat. You know, I'd like to rewind the clock here and go all the way back to 1773 in the Boston Tea Party. Those ranchers are doing exactly the same thing in Oregon as the men that dressed as Indians and boarded a ship and poured tea into the Boston Harbor. Now here's the ironic thing. We could say some of those men were also responsible for giving up their lives for liberty and freedom by signing another piece of paper, a document that declared war against another tyrant like Obama. Now, we can look at all the aspects and say the first shot was fired by the FBI in this case. There's no doubt about it. If the FBI were to be smart and use vigilance, this could have came out more peacefully. Instead, we could go back to the Boston Massacre when England killed all kinds of people because they believed in liberty and freedom. Civil disobedience is the correct answer here. If you want to say the man that was ahead of this and got killed as a martyr, you can say yes, that would be truth. You can't say anything else. He defended his rights of freedom and liberty. And I'll say this much. If he defended it without firing a shot from his own weapon, that makes him a martyr. That makes the That makes Obama, who is in charge of the United States of America, a murderer, an outright murderer. Therefore, we can use Constitution, U.S. Constitution, United States, I'm going to say it the right way. I'll cite it properly. U.S. Constitution, Article 2, Section 4, against Obama. End of sentence. Anytime, and it reads in there, anytime the commander-in-chief, the president, commits a misdemeanor, like Clinton did, actually that's a felony and an offense, but we won't go that any farther than that. Anytime you tell, or anybody that had an itchy trigger finger from the FBI, the man that's in charge of all of this is fully responsible, and that's Mr. Obama. If he wants to sit in that seat in my White House, he better obey the laws. Because if he doesn't, then he should be charged with murder. End of sentence. Murder in the first degree. He may not have fired the shot, but he's the one that came up with the plan to do so. End of sentence. Liberty and freedom depends on the Second Amendment. We could see it today when that rancher got killed. Now, I don't condemn violence or condone violence. I'm not saying be violent. But I also say this much to my fellow Americans that believe in the Constitution of the United States of America. Arm yourselves. Literally arm yourselves. Go out in public with your weapons so that they can see your weapons. That would be an answer. That would end all violence. That would end everything. End of sentence. Common sense. The key is to arm yourself. That's common sense. Defend yourself. Defend yourself even from the government. Let's put it this way. In our own Constitution, there is a place, well, that says that we can defend ourselves. It's called the Second Amendment. And I never said kill anybody. I'm not implying to do that. It's not my wish, nor will be my wish. But my wish is that we start defending ourselves with truth, liberty, and freedom. The Declaration of Independence also has a lot of other stuff in it. And I think it's time that we apply these other parts other than what you read in the first sentence. In a way, it states this much. If people feel that the government can no longer secure freedom and liberty, we the people have the right to abolish such government. Key point. Second Amendment would back us up on this as well. The First Amendment has been violated by Obama several times, and it shows up in the Oregon and what those out in Oregon have got to say about it. I will say this much. Anybody that says that the Second Amendment should be changed or gun control should be put in place, because people that carry guns or any weapons of such, there's got to be something wrong with them. Yes, there is something wrong with them. They believe in freedom and liberty, and they believe in defending themselves. This is one person that blogs these things all the time. I speak about freedom and liberty a lot. I speak about it as if it's something that we should hold true to. We should take a moment to honor the man that died for freedom and liberty as a rancher out in Oregon. I know the governor of Oregon is no more than a liberal and a moron. I'm not afraid to call him that. He is weak and a coward. Just like Obama is weak and is a coward. End of sentence. He claims to be a Democrat. Well, in all truth, all Democrats are cowards. They're all liberals. All liberals are cowards. Those that want to end and have no more guns in America. Guess what? You're cowards. I don't believe in violence at all. Matter of fact, I detest it. I happen to say if you're going to kill somebody, do it in a war. I detest war as well. Because it's wrong. But if that's the only course of action that's left, then it's the only course of action that's right. I condemn the occult group Muslims for committing acts of war, violence, wanting to use machine guns to kill people, innocent people, whether the people are Muslim or not. These ranchers out in Oregon are defending their livelihoods. The government says that they can't make money. They can't feed the people. That's what the government has said. That's what Obama has said. In truth, I would say this much. There is no justice for those that were arrested in Oregon by the FBI. That was a mistake. That is exactly just like the Boston Massacre. Because people threw tea in the harbor. In all reality, that also goes up against one other principle, too. This unalienable right to carry and to bear arms comes from our Creator to defend ourselves. God never said, kill people. He said, love and honor those who hate you. And yes, we do. By defending ourselves, by defending our faith and freedom, by defending our faith and liberty, by defending what is ours, our right to own, our right to feed ourselves. There is no place in the Constitution that says the government has got to feed us. That's communism. What Obama decided to do with the FBI is say, okay, we need to have this under control. We need to attack and to kill people to prove that people cannot have the right to feed themselves, so that they have the right to put a home over their loved ones' heads, or to have the right of ownership. That's called social justice, Mr. Obama. What you did was a crime. Social justice is a violation of the Constitution of the United States of America. It's a violation of the Declaration of Independence. It's a violation of the Mayflower Compact of 1620. Mr. Obama, you did nothing more than what a king would do, or an emperor, or a person as a communist leader would do, a dictator. You're no greater, Mr. Obama, by doing this with the FBI. You are exactly like Kim Jong-un of North Korea. You love to violate the Constitution of the United States of America. It's plain. It's simple. We can see it every day. If you want to make threats like you are, go right ahead. You have the right to make threats.